After years of studying how humans age, researchers uncovered something extraordinary. Your body doesn't just slowly decline after turning 80. It undergoes a complete transformation. Recent scientific findings reveal that every human body experiences 5 specific biological shifts at this age. These aren't subtle adjustments. They're fundamental system overhauls that change how your muscles function, how your brain interprets information, and even how you experience rest. What surprised scientists most is the universal nature of these changes. Whether you've been physically active your entire life or followed impeccable nutrition, your body triggers these transformations automatically once you reach 80. Some of these shifts offer protection, others accelerate deterioration if ignored. This video reveals the 5 biological transformations that happen after 80. The third one is so subtle that medical professionals often overlook it during standard examinations, yet it controls your sleep quality and cognitive longevity. Before hitting that like button and subscribing for more life-changing health information, let's be absolutely clear about something crucial. This content serves educational purposes only. If you recognize any of these transformations in yourself or a loved one, consult a medical professional immediately. Only qualified healthcare providers can accurately assess age-related changes and separate normal aging from conditions requiring intervention. Every scientific study mentioned can be verified through published research. Now let's explore the transformations experienced by everyone over 80, beginning with something that affects one of your most fundamental senses. Your sense of taste dramatically diminishes and meals become flavorless. This isn't about developing particular food preferences or experiencing reduced hunger. We're discussing a measurable physical transformation in tongue function. By 80, most people have lost around 70% of their taste receptors. These microscopic sensors that once allowed you to enjoy your morning beverage or appreciate ripe fruit begin flattening and dying. The reason involves cellular regeneration. Each taste receptor survives roughly 10 days before replacement. This renewal continues efficiently throughout most of life. After 80, cellular regeneration slows considerably. Your body stops replacing taste receptors at the rate they expire. Scientific research confirms this decline accelerates beyond 70 and becomes pronounced after 80. The outcome extends beyond bland meals. It represents complete sensory restructuring. Taste receptor loss creates hazards beyond culinary disappointment. These sensors safeguard you by identifying contaminated food, toxic compounds, and dangerous salt concentrations. Losing this defense mechanism causes unconscious compensation through excessive salt or sugar addition to recreate satisfaction previously achieved naturally. Research found that older adults who lost over half their taste sensitivity showed 40% higher likelihood of developing hypertension or diabetes within 5 years. The cause wasn't aging directly. It stemmed from unconscious overconsumption of salt and sugar, attempting to recreate flavors no longer properly detected. Saliva production also decreases significantly after 80, further dulling flavor recognition. Saliva transports taste molecules to remaining receptors. Without sufficient saliva, even flavorful dishes taste bland and cardboard-like. What makes this transformation particularly hazardous is that most people remain unaware it's occurring. They simply notice food tastes unsatisfying and consume less. This leads to progressive malnutrition without recognizing the underlying mechanism. Your smell sense, responsible for approximately 80% of flavor perception, also declines sharply after 70 and accelerates past 80. Research indicates nearly half of adults over 80 experience partial or complete smell loss. When taste and smell diminish simultaneously, food becomes nearly flavorless. This creates serious safety hazards beyond nutrition. Many older adults cannot detect gas leaks, smoke, or spoiled food. They cannot smell burning items or identify when refrigerated food has spoiled. Combined with reduced appetite from flavor loss, they eat progressively less, spiraling toward malnutrition without awareness. If you notice flavors fading, this signals your body losing critical sensory defense systems. Document when changes began and severity affecting daily eating. Schedule comprehensive medical evaluation, including nutritional assessment. Medical professionals can test taste and smell function, investigate underlying conditions causing problems, and recommend interventions before malnutrition develops. Another transformation goes deeper than your tongue, affecting your body's largest organ in ways creating substantial health risks. Your skin loses its ability to heal properly. By 80, your skin isn't merely wrinkled. It has literally forgotten efficient self-repair protocols. A minor cut healing within days at 40 might now persist for weeks or months. This isn't simply slower healing, it's disorganized healing. Recent groundbreaking research discovered that after 80, skin cells lose their molecular instructions. When injury occurs, even something minor like a scratch, your body struggles remembering the repair sequence. Normally, specialized repair cells rush to injury locations, follow genetic blueprints, and systematically rebuild tissue. They execute perfectly because they've performed this function thousands of times. In people over 80, those blueprints fade. The repair cells wander. They respond tardily, ineffectively, or fail to respond. Research demonstrates they lose coordination ability, arriving at incorrect times or failing to produce adequate collagen for proper healing. That explains why wounds take considerably longer closing and bruises appear seemingly spontaneously. It's not misfortune or carelessness. It's fundamental cellular system breakdown. Your skin also thins by approximately 20% after 80, meaning wounds penetrate deeper and infections develop faster. Blood vessels delivering oxygen and nutrients to skin also stiffen with age, reducing circulation to healing sites. Scientific journals report collagen production drops 75% between ages 25 and 80. By that point, even mild impacts can rupture fragile capillaries, causing large purple bruises. The underlying mechanism involves genetic instruction degradation. Think of skin cells as students who once followed perfect directions. With age, those directions fade and blur. Cells start guessing repair procedures. Some repair inadequately. Others repair excessively, forming unnecessary scar tissue. The precise coordination once making healing effortless has vanished. What makes this transformation easily overlooked is people attributing slow healing to inevitable aging. They assume everyone over 80 heals slowly, so they skip medical evaluation. But this acceptance masks serious problems. Slow healing significantly increases infection risk. Bacteria receive extended opportunity, establishing themselves in open wounds. Research shows skin infections in people over 80 last 3 times longer than middle-aged adults. The compromised immune system cannot fight infections as effectively, creating dangerous combinations of poor healing and reduced infection resistance. If you notice wounds requiring weeks to heal or bruises appearing without obvious cause, document specific examples with dates and photographs. Schedule complete medical evaluation, including tests for diabetes, circulation problems, and nutritional deficiencies. All these conditions worsen healing and require treatment. Researchers discovered that specific therapies and collagen supplements can improve wound healing speed by up to 50% in seniors. Proper hydration, vitamin supplementation, and appropriate sunlight exposure also help reactivate repair cell activity. When your skin takes longer healing, it's communicating needs for additional support. Don't ignore this message. If you're finding this information valuable, take a moment to like this video. Drop a comment about which sign resonates most with you, and subscribe so you never miss crucial health insights. Your engagement helps this content reach others who need it. Now let's continue with another transformation many notice nightly yet rarely connect to biological shifts happening after 80. Your internal sleep clock malfunctions, and nights become chaotic. This sign shocks people most because we don't associate sleep problems with fundamental biological transformation. After 80, your brain's internal clock, the circadian rhythm regulating sleep for decades, begins losing synchronization with actual time. Suddenly, you're alert at 3 in the morning, drowsy after breakfast, and exhausted long before sunset. This isn't insomnia or poor sleep habits. It's your master biological clock malfunctioning. The brain's master clock located behind your eyes contains approximately 20,000 neurons regulating your entire sleep-wake cycle. This cluster uses light signals from your eyes controlling hormone release, body temperature, and alertness patterns. It signals your body when releasing melatonin for sleep and cortisol for wakefulness. After 80, this system weakens significantly. Your eyes absorb less light as the lens yellows and pupils contract. Reduced light input means your brain receives weaker timing signals. The master clock neurons also begin dying, reducing circadian signal strength sent throughout your body. Your body still wants sleeping and waking, but no longer knows precisely when to do either. Scientists term this advanced sleep phase syndrome. People fall asleep too early evening, wake midnight, then feel drowsy during day. It affects nearly 60% of people over 80. What makes this transformation particularly dangerous is circadian disruption affects far more than sleep timing. When your rhythm flips, body temperature regulation, hormone release, and digestion all fall out of synchronization. Your liver may metabolize food at incorrect times. Your heart rate might spike or drop unpredictably. Your immune system becomes confused about when activating repair processes. Research found seniors with disrupted sleep rhythms had 3 times the cardiovascular event and cognitive decline risk compared to those with stable patterns. The connection between sleep and brain health becomes critical after 80. During deep sleep, your brain activates waste removal networks, literally washing away toxins accumulated during waking hours. This system clears proteins, the same proteins accumulating in brain diseases. When sleep becomes shallow or fragmented due to circadian disruption, this cleaning process fails. Toxic proteins accumulate instead of clearing. Over time, this accumulation contributes to cognitive decline and significantly increases risk. Research demonstrates people over 80 with chronic sleep disruption have double the cognitive impairment rate within 3 years. What makes this sign easily missed is families dismissing it as normal aging. They see loved ones napping frequently or waking early and assume it's inevitable at older ages. They don't recognize it as specific biological malfunction requiring intervention. If you notice sleep timing shifting dramatically, maintain detailed sleep diary for 2 weeks. Record when feeling sleepy, when actually sleeping, when waking, and how feeling during day. This documentation helps medical professionals understand your circadian pattern and recommend targeted interventions. Light exposure therapy can reset disrupted circadian rhythms. Getting bright light exposure mornings and avoiding bright lights evenings helps retrain your master clock. Supplements taken at appropriate times can also strengthen sleep signals. Consistent meal timing reinforces your body's internal schedule. When finding yourself waking in darkness or dozing in daylight, recognize this as your brain's clock losing calibration. It's not weakness or poor discipline, it's biology requiring recalibration through specific interventions. Now we arrive at a transformation affecting something most take for granted until it starts disappearing. Your muscles begin consuming themselves. By 80, something alarming begins happening beneath your skin. Your muscles, once strong and responsive, quietly start consuming themselves for energy. Scientists call this muscle wasting, and it's among the most dangerous yet invisible aging processes. This doesn't happen suddenly. It creeps gradually, turning power into weakness, strength into stiffness, and independence into dependency. Scientific studies show more than 45% of people over 80 suffer from moderate to severe muscle wasting. Every year after 80, you lose approximately 1% of muscle mass and 2 to 3% of muscle strength. This occurs even remaining active, eating well, and maintaining normal weight. The fundamental cause involves your body's balance between building and breaking down protein collapsing. Throughout younger years, your body continuously breaks down muscle protein and rebuilds it, maintaining equilibrium. After 80, this balance tips sharply toward breakdown. You continue breaking down muscle tissue, but your body no longer rebuilds it fast enough, maintaining muscle mass. Hormones critical for muscle maintenance plummet with age. Without adequate hormone signals, your body stops prioritizing muscle preservation. Instead, it begins cannibalizing muscle tissue for energy. This process releases amino acids your body redirects, keeping vital organs like brain and heart functioning. The result isn't just smaller muscles. It's fundamental loss of physical capability. Your brain sends movement signals to muscles that have literally disappeared, processed for their amino acids. Research found seniors with muscle wasting are 5 times more likely experiencing falls and fractures. Those losing more than 10% of leg muscle mass double their mortality risk within 3 years. What makes muscle wasting particularly insidious is it doesn't only affect strength, it affects your entire body system. Muscles act as reservoirs of amino acids, helping produce immune cells and neurotransmitters. When muscle mass decreases significantly, your body loses this backup supply. That explains why people with low muscle mass heal slower from injuries, get sick more frequently, and experience brain fog or low mood. The connection between muscle health and longevity is now undeniable. The weaker muscles become, the shorter predicted lifespan. Muscle wasting also disrupts balance and coordination. Your brain relies on constant feedback from muscle sensors maintaining equilibrium. When muscles shrink, these sensors provide weaker signals. Your brain struggles coordinating movements precisely. This explains why people over 80 often report not feeling steady anymore. They're not becoming clumsy. They're experiencing neurological confusion from muscles no longer providing clear position feedback. What makes this transformation easily missed is muscle loss happens gradually and people compensate unconsciously. They use walls for support, avoid stairs, or simply stop attempting activities requiring strength. Families help with tasks without recognizing that muscle loss, not aging itself, is the underlying problem. If you notice declining strength, difficulty rising from chairs, or unsteadiness when walking, schedule comprehensive evaluation, including muscle mass measurement. Medical professionals can assess severity using specialized scans and recommend targeted interventions. Resistance exercise remains effective even after 80. Research demonstrates strength training twice weekly can rebuild muscle mass and improve function significantly within 12 weeks. Protein intake becomes critical. Most people over 80 don't consume adequate protein for muscle maintenance. Increasing high-quality protein provides building blocks your body needs. When your muscles begin consuming themselves, you can fight back effectively. Every resistance exercise session, every protein-rich meal, and every movement tells your body not to shut down muscle systems. There's one final transformation affecting how your entire brain operates, happening silently without obvious external signs. Your brain starts rewiring itself for survival. Around 80, something extraordinary and unsettling begins happening inside your head. Your brain starts quietly rewiring itself, not because it wants to, but because it must survive. By this age, you've lost approximately 20% of your brain's white matter, the neural pathways connecting different brain regions and transmitting signals between them. To compensate for this loss, your brain begins creating new routes around damaged circuits. It's an act of neurological self-preservation, but it comes with noticeable costs. This rewiring represents your brain's adaptive response to decades of accumulated damage. As neurons die or lose efficiency, nearby neurons take over their functions, forming improvised backup routes. Think of it like a highway system where major roads have closed. Your brain builds detours through side streets, maintaining connection between destinations. The result is you can still think, recall memories, and reason, but not as smoothly or quickly. Processing takes longer. Thoughts sometimes lose their thread midstream. This explains cognitive experiences many people over 80 describe. Walking into rooms forgetting why, struggling recalling familiar names, losing train of thought mid-sentence. These aren't necessarily signs of disease. They're signs of detoured processing. Your brain is rerouting signals in real time through less efficient pathways. What makes this rewiring particularly interesting is it's not random. It's strategic. Your brain prioritizes certain functions over others during this reorganization. Emotional memory and recognition stay remarkably strong even as analytical processing weakens. That explains why someone at 82 might forget what they had for lunch, but vividly recall events from 70 years ago with perfect clarity. The emotional processing core remains robust, while analytical areas show decline. Research shows this prioritization serves evolutionary purpose. Social connection and emotional processing matter more for survival than complex calculation. Your brain allocates its limited resources accordingly. However, this rewiring process creates complications. When new neural connections form incorrectly or signals take inefficient routes, it causes slower reaction times, unsteady balance, and sudden emotional fluctuations. Reports reveal nearly 1 in 3 adults over 80 experience mild cognitive fluctuation due to misrouted neural activity. These are moments of sudden mental fog appearing and disappearing unpredictably. They're not permanent damage. They're temporary confusion caused by overloaded or incorrectly routed circuits. The brain is learning new pathways and sometimes makes mistakes during this learning process. What makes this transformation easily missed is families often misinterpret these fluctuations. They assume loved ones are developing serious conditions when they're actually watching normal adaptive rewiring. The key difference is consistency. Progressive diseases cause worsening decline. Adaptive rewiring causes variable performance, improving with practice and stimulation. If you notice cognitive changes, pay attention to patterns. Does performance vary significantly day to day? Do challenging mental activities sometimes improve clarity? These patterns suggest rewiring rather than degeneration. Keep your brain actively building new connections. Every new conversation, puzzle, book, or skill lights up rewiring pathways and strengthens new routes. Mental stimulation after 80 isn't about preventing change. It's about directing that change toward functional adaptation. Schedule cognitive evaluation if changes concern you. But understand some rewiring is normal and necessary. Your brain is fighting to maintain function despite structural losses. Support that fight with continuous engagement and challenge. What you must do next. If you recognize multiple signs in yourself or someone you love, don't panic, but don't delay either. First, document everything. Write down specific examples of each change you've noticed. When did it start? How often does it occur? What makes it better or worse? This documentation helps medical professionals understand patterns and severity. Second, schedule comprehensive evaluation with your primary care provider immediately. Don't wait for changes to worsen. Early intervention makes significant differences in outcomes for every condition discussed. Bring your documentation to the appointment. Third, request complete assessment including cognitive testing, nutritional evaluation, muscle mass measurement, and sleep pattern analysis. Don't let providers dismiss changes as normal aging without thorough investigation. Many of these conditions have effective treatments when caught early. Fourth, focus on modifiable factors while waiting for your appointment. Increase protein intake supporting muscle maintenance. Get morning sunlight exposure strengthening circadian rhythms. Stay mentally and physically active supporting neural rewiring. These actions may slow or partially reverse some changes. Remember, these 5 transformations happen universally after 80, but their severity and impact vary dramatically based on how you respond. Early recognition and targeted intervention can maintain function and quality of life significantly longer than passive acceptance. Finally, understand that experiencing these changes doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're alive and your body is still adapting. The fact that your brain rewires itself, that systems reorganize and compensate, proves your biology is still fighting to maintain function. Support that fight with awareness, action, and appropriate medical care. Which of these 5 signs have you noticed most? What questions do you have about these biological transformations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else recognize important warning signs. If this information helped you understand aging after 80 better, please like this video and subscribe so you never miss evidence-based health content created specifically for older adults and their families. Share this video with anyone who needs this information. Early recognition of these changes can dramatically improve quality of life and longevity. Remember, knowledge is power, but only when you act on it. If you recognize multiple signs, make that appointment today. Your health is worth protecting. Hit that subscribe button now and turn on notifications so you're always equipped with life-saving health knowledge.